Okay, so we're going to go through just a quick look at our nutrition and the mother. So, main idea of this chapter 14, basically we're always going to be worried about safety, and we're eating to facilitate growth of both the mother and the child. So, to start off, our daily caloric needs are obviously going to go up. You can see that right here. So we're looking at 2200 to 2900. That's a general rule. It depends on how active they are. I mean, just common sense, it's just going to be more. Most of the food we eat, or most of the energy we get from the food we eat, should be and come from the form of carbs. And think carbs equal calories. These burn fast. It's like throwing sticks on a fire. Unlike fats and proteins, they're not going to last as long, but they give us a lot of calories. So for things like this, add the potatoes, rice, oats, pasta, a lot of yellow foods. They're starchy, just stuff like that. If it's a grain, that's going to be a carb. And so over the course of a pregnancy, we're hoping to gain between 25 to 35 pounds. So if we look at what a woman needs to be doing before she even gets pregnant, we know she's going to need to be taking folic acid, and she's going to be worried about what her weight is because we do want her at a healthy weight when she's conceiving. So folic acid we know is important. You don't want to, like neural tube defects or spina bifida. It's going to help develop that baby's spine. So we're taking that before we even get pregnant because in this first trimester, I think it's about week 8, folic acid stops having a major impact. You still need it, but most of your formation, I believe, for your spine is done by week 8. So we're getting that early. Next, we have obesity. So when we're looking at obesity, make sure, like if we were just talking to a client, we'd say, hey, you may want to lose a little bit of weight before getting pregnant because obese patients kind of have just bad outcomes. So their child is more likely to have problems or they're more likely to have complications. So it's just better for everybody if the mother weighs a little bit less. Then we look into the first trimester. There isn't very much increase in caloric need yet. That's because even though we're still gaining weight. We're gaining between 1 and 4 pounds really. So not a ton of weight gain. We're still getting that folic acid. We're going to be getting iron throughout due to that increased blood volume, but still not a ton of weight gain. We're mainly focused on just that central nervous system growth. Then we look at second trimester. We're going to start seeing that 340 calorie need. So we're going to see they need more food. This is because they're starting to put on weight now. So that baby, it's kind of had all of its very basic, like most of it's kind of already, the groundwork's there, and now we're just adding to it. So its spine's pretty much developed, heart and lungs are starting to develop, so now we're really putting on that extra tissue. Then third trimester, same thing, we're really starting to gain weight, 450 extra calories needed, really gaining weight. So by about right here, the baby's formed. We consider 20 weeks to be, not 20 weeks is obviously early, but it can be, like it's viable. So that's about probably 12, just right in here is 20 weeks. This whole area, we're just adding weight. We're getting that baby healthy. So that's what we're worried about right now. Now, while we're eating, we're going to have some complications. One of those, we need iron. Iron's important for that blood volume, and it helps with the baby. We're getting 27 milligrams daily. The mother needs about 1,000 milligrams in her body to sustain all of the actual blood that will be made. But 27 milligrams a day is what we're focused on. Because of that, we can kind of get some constipation. That's due to less water, because again, we're absorbing that water. So for that, we're just going to give them fiber, water, and we're going to get them moving, because getting up, moving around really helps. Also, while they're taking this iron, dark stools can be a side effect. So that's just that iron coming out. It's not bleeding, although we should teach them signs of that. If they're worried about a dark stool and they're on an iron supplement, look at that first. Some general things to consider over here. GERD, so a lot of women have like reflux. It's just kind of hard on their body. Think their sphincter's not working right now, their pyloric sphincter, and also think back over here to constipation. Those muscles are a lot more relaxed because of that progesterone calming everything down. We don't want to give birth yet. We're holding on to this pregnancy. So it's going to be closing that cervical sphincter. But at the same time, it's going to be affecting these two. So GERD, we all know that's acid reflux. We're going to sit them up, eat early, don't do it right before going to bed, and we're going to avoid spicy foods. Another weird one we may see on the test is pica disorder. That's just like a weird craving. Don't know much about it. It's just like that you may crave like rocks, clay, or maybe like flour, just weird stuff. Imagine like My Strange Addiction. Some no-nos, some like things we're going to avoid while pregnant are undercooked foods. Again, we're thinking about the safety of the mother and the baby. We don't want an infection. That's what we're looking at here. So no like sushi, a lot of fishes. Probably avoid also avoid fish from mercury, but also make sure our eggs are well cooked. Just stuff like that. We also need to make sure we're getting calcium. Again, probably not from fish that are higher in mercury. And also, if we may see a question about is calcium absorbed from the teeth? It is not. So just remember we're getting our calcium. 8 to 10 cups of fluids are expected. You may want to get more than that, but that's what our book says. No amount of alcohol is safe. Remember that. We're going to be looking at fetal alcohol syndrome later. So remember, no amount of alcohol is safe. Now, next up, we're looking at low weight gain equals low birth weight. So we want these people, again, putting on 25 to 35 pounds. And so say this is a young woman, not putting on much weight, she's poor, single, just has those risk factors that we think maybe this person isn't getting enough food. Their baby is going to be at a higher risk of a low birth weight. So we don't want the mom obese, obviously, but we don't want her too low either, because that can cause problems. Another thing to consider, maybe she's not gaining weight because she's not hungry. And something that could contribute to that is a low appetite because she's smoking. So we're going to talk about smoking cessation and things like that. So big idea, diet facilitates baby and mother's health. They both need more to grow. What they do and don't eat will impact their health. Thanks.